Radha means cosmic love. Be a spiritual mother to all, her guru, Swami Sivananda, said to her at the time of her initiation. And remember, the mother has all that the baby will need before the baby is born. She had been like a breath of fresh air for him, eager to know, willing to learn. She is a ball of fire, Sivananda said. She wants to know. Indeed, if fire is passion, his description fit perfectly. Swami Radha was the first Western woman to be initiated into sannyas. Although she was trained in Eastern yoga and philosophy, she never lost sight of the fact that she was a Westerner first, and that her task, as Gurudev Shivananda had presented it to her, was to update the ancient Eastern teachings of yoga for the Western mind. This she has done. Her ashram on the shores of Kootenay Lake, British Columbia, is one of the most enduring spiritual centers in North America. Her teachings are both sophisticated and practical.
And remember that you must all images keep in the light, that you go beyond image into the light. Never, never forget that. Oh no.
Swami Radha worked unceasingly to fulfill the promise she made to her guru. She has deeply influenced the lives of many people. Swami Radhananda, the president of Yasodhara Ashram, is one of those people. She was appointed to the position by Swami Radha personally.
And you can see the extraordinary event that it is when a person like Swami Radha gives back what she experienced and knew. Like it resonates in all of us. It makes sense. It makes your life worth living because somehow she's been able to set that example and place the teachings out in a way that we can understand them and live them.
Ashram means spiritual home. Swami Sivananda had written to her, "Come home, I will teach you everything I know." His ashram in Rishikesh, India, was a long way, one could even say many lifetimes away, from her childhood home in Berlin. She was born in 1911, the only child of a well-educated, upper-class Berlin family. She was naturally curious and wanted to know about everything. At the age of 2, she removed the head from a Christmas stall just to find out how the eyes worked. By all appearances, she ought to have lived a privileged childhood. In fact, it was far from it. Her mother had not wanted a child, had even tried to abort her. Her father adored her, but he was away from home too much to be a strong, balancing influence. Her parents' turbulent marriage finally ended in divorce when she was 11 years old.
So my mother basically had not wanted children. And so I was put very quickly after the divorce in a boarding school, and that somehow saved my sanity. I was an only girl in a boys' boarding school, funnily enough. And so I think I had not the same illusions that many women have about men, because I saw how the boys grew up, how they talked about girls and what they said and all this sort of thing.
Within a year of graduation, she was training as a concert dancer, and by the age of 19, she was publishing her short stories in a Berlin newspaper under the pen name Lorenz. She would need a strong foundation to withstand the trials that lay ahead. On her 40th birthday, Sylvia looked back over a life that had seen 2 world wars, a civil revolution, the loss of her home and most of her possessions, and sadly, the deaths of 2 husbands. The first, Wolfgang, was executed by the Gestapo for helping people to escape Hitler. Her second husband, Albert Hellman, a very sensitive musician who had composed beautiful music for her dances, suffered a stroke and died at home just 18 months after they were married. It was almost more than she could bear. As she held him in her arms, her eyes went to a painting of the Holy Family hanging over the bed.
I looked up to this and I said, "What is my sin? Please let me know," as if the picture was alive. But yet there came a gentle voice and said, "It's not your sin. You fulfill his greatest wish. If he had to die, he wanted to die in your arms."
A year after her husband's death, Sylvia Hellman left Germany for England to take up employment as a domestic, the only work available to foreign women. It was the first step toward rebuilding her life, a beginning. But it didn't stop there.
Department of Immigration, Government House, Ottawa, Canada. Dear Sir, Mrs. Hellman has been helping with the work of our home since the beginning of May. I can truly say that I have never had a more satisfactory and charming helper. It has been a pleasure to have someone with the intelligence, artistic gifts, and good taste.
Dear Sir, I would like to recommend Mrs. Sylvia Hellman as being of exceptional fine character. She would be a real asset to Canada as a citizen.
Canadian immigration agreed. Just before Christmas 1951, she landed in Montreal, ready to begin again. She brought everything to the task of building a new life for herself: her talent, her artistic ability, her sincerity, and hard work. She even found a place for her former career as a dancer.
So when I came to Canada, I was very happy. I liked the country. I was deeply impressed with people of their nature of charité. I went to one place and I said, "I'm an immigrant, I don't have any money, but I can give you my talent." So I showed them some newspaper clippings and all this. So they passed it on to other people. So I gave many, many charity performances. And once again, came back.
It was in the midst of all this activity that it happened, the vision experience that dramatically altered the course of her life. She had never seen Swami Sivananda before, did not know who he was, and when he spoke to her in the vision, she could not understand a word he was saying. What intrigued her even more was the fact that she had the experience during a meditation meeting that she had not even wanted to attend.
So I come once, and there is this picture of this yogi with these piercing eyes, wavy hair, and the leader said, "Well, you look at this and you think he's a very holy man, and then see what happened." Little did I know how deep my desire for the church had already gone by that time. And it was just like the picture blurred, and 2 hands were throwing off a wick, and there was a man bald, smiling, laughing, talking. What is this?